Welcome to OG's Wealth of Math. In this video, we want to see how we can find the equation of a circle when we are given the endpoint of a diameter. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, you can do that. Share my link, make comments on my video, like my video, click on the notification bell. Thank you. Now, if you look at this problem, we are given the endpoint of a diameter and we want to find the equation of a circle. Now, we need to get the midpoint of that diameter. The midpoint simply means the average of the x-coordinate and then the average of the y-coordinate. Now, with the midpoint, we should be able to use any of the endpoints with a center, which is the midpoint, to get the equation, to get the radius, and from there, we can get the equation of the circle. Now, the first thing I want to do is to tag the 2 points as x sub 0, y sub 0, x sub 1, y sub 1. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to locate the 2 endpoints of the diameter on the circle. So this will be here, 1, 6, 1, negative 6, and then the other point will be somewhere around here. Let's say 5, 2. So this is my x sub 0, y sub 0, x sub 1, y sub 1, and then this is my midpoint, which is the center. Let me take it as C, the midpoint, which is C. All right, so the midpoint is C, H, K. All right, now the first thing I want to do is to get the midpoint. So the midpoint simply means the average of the x-coordinate and the average of the y-coordinate. So let's start. So the average of the x-coordinate, which is h, will be x sub 0 plus x sub 1 over 2, which will be x sub 0 is 1. I'm going to plug in 1, plus x sub 1 is 5, divided by 2. So h will be 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 divided by 2 is 3. I'll do the same thing for my k, which is y sub 0 plus y sub 1 divided by 2. The average of the y-coordinate, y sub 0 is negative 6 plus y sub 1 is 2 over 2. So my k will be negative 6 plus 2 will give me negative 4 over 2. So my final answer will be negative 4 divided by 2 will give me negative 2. So my center will now be 3, negative 2. Now with my center, I want to get the radius before getting the equation of the circle. In order to get the radius, if you remember the equation of a circle in the standard form, this is the formula for it. So now, because there are 2 endpoints, I have endpoints rather on this circle, the endpoint of the diameter. So I can take any of the endpoints. I can use x sub 0 minus h all squared plus y sub 0 minus k all squared equals r squared to get the radius. If I don't want to use this, I can use x sub 1 minus h all squared plus y sub 1 minus k all squared equals r squared. So let me use this point. Let me use x sub 0 so you can use x sub 1. So using x sub 0, so I have 1 minus h is what? H is 3 all squared plus x sub 1, y sub 0 will be minus 6 minus the center is minus 2 all squared equals r squared. So 1 minus 3 will give me minus 2 all squared plus this is minus 6, minus is plus, so I have minus 6 plus 2 all squared equals r squared. So this will give me minus 2 all squared plus minus 6 plus 2 will give me minus 4 all squared equals r squared. All right, so minus 2 squared will give me 4 plus minus 4 squared will give me 16 equals r squared. So my r squared is 20, and my r will be the square root of 20. Now, this is the radius. Now, if I want to get the equation of the circle, so I can say this x sub 1 minus h all squared plus y sub 1 minus k all squared equals r squared. Now, so I want to get the equation of the circle. I already know the center, so I already know the center and the radius. So I'm going to plug in the value of the center and the radius. X sub 1 minus the radius, the center h is 3 all squared plus y sub 1 minus k is minus 2 all squared equals the radius r squared is 20. So I'm going to plug that in. So this is the equation of the circle in the standard form. X sub 1 minus 3 all squared plus y sub 1 plus 2 all squared equals 20. Now I want to move from the standard form to non-standard form. So I'm going to multiply this by itself. If I do that, x sub 1 minus 3 into x sub 1 minus 3 plus, I'll do the same thing for y sub 1 plus 2, y sub 1 plus 2 equals 20. Now I'll open up the bracket. So x sub 1 times x sub 1 will give me x sub 1 all squared. X sub 1 times minus 3 will give me minus 3x sub 1. X sub 1, minus 3 times x sub 1 will give me minus 3x sub 1. Minus 3 times minus 3 will give me minus, plus 9. I'll do the same thing for the y. Y sub 1 multiplied by y sub 1 will give me y sub 1 squared. Y sub 1 multiplied by 2 will give me plus 2y sub 1. 2 times y sub 1 will give me plus 2y sub 1. And then 2 times 2 will give me plus 4 equal 20. Now I want to tidy up the equation. So I will have x sub 1 squared minus 3x sub 1 minus 3x sub 1 will give me minus 6x sub 1 plus 9. Then I have plus y sub 1 squared plus 2y sub 1 plus 2y sub 1 will give me plus 4y sub 1 plus 4 equals 20. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to arrange them in order of their decreasing power. Now from power 2, I want to go to the constant, which is power 0. So I have x sub 1 all squared, then for this, plus y sub 1 all squared. For the power of 2, then the power of 1, I have minus 6x sub 1, and then I have plus 4y sub 1. Then for the constant, I'm going to add this plus this. I'm going to get 13. 9 plus 4 will give me 13. And then I'll subtract 20 from both sides of the equation. So 20 minus 20 is 0. So I have x sub 1 all squared plus y sub 1 all squared minus 6x sub 1 plus 4y sub 1 plus, 13 minus 20 will give me minus 7 equals 0. Now this is the equation of a circle in the non-general form, with the non-standard form, which is the general form. This is in its standard form. So that's how to do that. Thanks for watching my video. You can always subscribe on OG's Wealth of Math. Share my link, make comments on my video, click on the notification bell to get videos. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.